Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Earning Our Stripes. You heard right there, Brady Cook punching it in as the Tigers knock off number 25, South Carolina. The Gamecocks fall to the Tigers 23-10. I am joined by a man who was so hyped about that game, who is currently hiding on the screen.
I'm currently plugging computer in before it dies.
That is a smart idea. Mr. Benjamin Duncan. Ben, Tigers win 23-10. They did it. They did it with defense.
We proved them right.
Yes.
We proved all of the Mizzou fans right, and all the South Carolina fans wrong.
Yes. Drink has never lost to South Carolina, and he never will.
The Banger Columbia.
Which is the one that you are in right now.
Yes.
Tommy was here, he would have been doing the yes chant, but for a different reason, just because he likes that chant. So, well, let's just begin gushing about this Mizzou team, because it happened on the ground.
I will just say with how you introduced us with the Brady Cook running in for the touchdown there. Going into the game, I didn't know what to really expect because, there's sometimes when we're good and then sometimes when we're just really bad. That was a 15-play drive that was 96 yards, so we started from our own 4-yard line, and it lasted 7 minutes. Now that's how you give time for your practically elite defense to get some rest before going in.
No, fix that. Say that again. Your elite defense. Number 25 in the country gets held to 10 points. Unfortunately, Mizzou did not score another touchdown after 11:29 in the first quarter. Kinda. That still needs to get fixed. But
we do have Cody Schrader punching it in, though.
I know, like I said, that was the other touchdown, was our boy, once again. We need to come up with a meme with Cody Schrader, but we were able to use "You just got cooked" to South Carolina. I posted that underneath their final score tweet.
Yeah.
So
I think I figured it out, Brock.
Oh, boy.
The Cody Schrader one.
Oh, God. Here we go. What is it? Oh, God.
Let me see.
Live here on Earning Our Stripes.
What we can do is take the picture of Cody Schrader and, Photoshop his face onto the body of Shredder from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, God.
And say, Cody Shredder.
I like it. That is his nickname now, Cody Schrader. Even though this is his final year that he can play college football, and that was game number 8. We finally came up with his nickname. 8 games.
We figured it out.
8 games in. 4 left for the Tigers. Ben, your thoughts on this win against South Carolina first, before we get into the minute details.
We needed to win this so bad because if we had lost this, I honestly don't think we would have made it to bowl eligibility possibly, and just this win right here is so much of a morale boost for the team. For example, all of the pictures that Barrett Bannister posted on Twitter with the trophy and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Or the cup. My bad.
The Mayor's Cup.
The team needed this, and going into this Kentucky game, I feel like it's going to be the same atmosphere, or even better than what was there at the South Carolina game. But it's just, if we hadn't have won this game, the morale would just be bottoming out, and
yeah.
I feel like now we have definitely a better chance going into this weekend's game and then possibly moving forward.
Stats on the day, Missouri had 20 first downs. South Carolina only had 14. Mizzou was 8 for 16 on third down. South Carolina 5 for 13. Total yards, Missouri just dominated South Carolina 367 to 203. Passing, Mizzou had the edge with 224 to 171. No interceptions thrown by Brady Cook this game. Good job, Brady. You did it.
Mm-hmm.
On the rushing game, Mizzou just shut down South Carolina's rushing. South Carolina had 23 rushing attempts for 32 yards. Mizzou had 43, count them, 43 rushing attempts for 143 rushing yards. Mizzou dominated time of possession, 36-35 to 23-25 for South Carolina. No turnovers for the Tigers. They did, however, force 2 turnovers by the Gamecocks. Penalties, similar penalty yards. Mizzou just had 1 more penalty than South Carolina did. So, yeah, Brady Cook, 17 for 26, 224. Rushing leader for your Tigers was Cody Schrader, 22 carries. 22 carries, the workhorse.
Oh, we love to see it.
22 carries, 81 yards, averaging 3.7 yards a carry, and a TD. That's a tutty. Brady Cook, 11 carries, 53 yards for 4.8 and a tutty. Elijah Young, 3 carries, 20 yards. Luther Burden, 2 carries, 10 yards. Dominic Lovett, 1 carry, 2 yards. Receiving, it was the Dominic Lovett show. 10 receptions.
And he did that all in like the first half too. Like he absolutely balled out in the first half, and then I just think he got so tired that.
Well, then it became let's just pound the rock. Dominic Lovett, 10 receptions, 148 yards. Cody Schrader, 2 receptions, 32 yards. Bannister with 2 receptions, 28 yards. Young, 1 reception, 11 yards. Luther Burden with 2 receptions, 5 yards. Defensively, sack-wise, McGuire. Have yourself a day. 5 total tackles, 4 solos, 2 sacks, and 3 tackles for loss.
And speaking of tackles for loss, you just going down the defensive stats for Mizzou is just TFL, 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 TFL.
And Norwood, yes, Norwood, that would be Drayden Norwood, the freshman from Fort Smith, Arkansas, had the pick of Spencer Rattler. And Spencer Rattler did not do good on the day. 20 for 30, 171. The interception. The leading rusher for South Carolina barely was Marcus Lloyd, Marshawn Lloyd, who was unfortunately hurt and did not get to play a lot. He had 7 carries for 30 yards. Receiving leaders for. Go ahead.
It was funny there about Marshawn Lloyd, though, that I think while watching the game broadcast, I'm pretty sure that they said whenever they were announcing South Carolina's players, the play-by-play callers said Marshawn Lynch.
I mean, there is that easy.
95% sure. Said that.
Leaving receiver for South Carolina was Stonger. He had 4 receptions for 63. Stogner, 4 receptions, 63 yards. Rattler lost a fumble. That was recovered by Missouri, and that is it. Only 1 sack by the South Carolina defense on the day.
I was going to say
Mizzou had 4 sacks and 11 tackles for loss.
There you go.
So the Mizzou defense showing out once again. Going in, we said that Spencer Rattler was the more riskier thrower, I guess. Yeah. He wants to be Patrick Mahomes so bad. It just didn't end up working for him on the day, as the Tigers come out on top 23-10 once again, knocking off number 25 South Carolina, as it's now time for Kentucky week.
I will say one last thing about the South Carolina game. There were some calls that I'm pretty sure our defense definitely got away with on where was it? On Austin Stogner, because there was definitely some plays where the ball was going to him, and our defense was just definitely a bit too handsy on him, but we still got the W. That's all that matters.
It is what it is. Any thoughts before we start breaking down this Kentucky game and give our thoughts about this one? I know you had several things written down.
Yeah, but there's...
Are they all for Kentucky?
Nothing else. Nothing about the Kentucky or South Carolina game, just other stuff.
All right, we'll go ahead. This is the time. We'll give a little bit of a break here before we talk about this Kentucky game, because we don't just talk about Mizzou football. We talk about all Mizzou athletics here on Earning Our Stripes.
Almost there. Just give me a second. Oh, okay. So, there's this one app that I use for most of my sports information and stuff. The Score. Probably many of you have heard of it. And I was going through the chat room for the Missouri South Carolina game after the game was over, and I found these just absolute gold comments of there was one commenter that said, "I just need Mizzou 6 total wins or my wife might leave me," followed by another commenter saying marriage is overrated, and then the previous commenter saying mortgaged my house on that.
Huh.
So what are your thoughts on that, Brock?
I mean, I had Mizzou going 7-5 this year, and that's a real possibility right now. So, yeah.
Then
later we will talk about the chaos scenario.
Yes. Then let's go. There's a few bowl game predictions that I've checked on the past few days.
The top one I have seen... Hang on, beforehand, I will say the top one I have seen is Mizzou and Duke in the Birmingham Bowl.
I have not seen that one.
I have seen that one, and I'm like, it is a bowl game, technically.
So, the 3 games that I have seen is December 17th in the Frisco Bowl.
Again?
Fresno State versus Mizzou.
Wait, what bowl game were you at? Military Appreciation Bowl last year in Fort Worth?
Armed Forces Bowl last year.
Listen, I know we lost to Army by 1. Story of Brady Cook's career. So Fresno State, now Frisco Bowl, okay.
Then we have the Ticket Smarter Birmingham Bowl on Tuesday, December 27th.
Birmingham Bowl.
Against SMU.
I saw Duke, but SMU would be a good one because I am a fan of the Mustangs. So.
And then the final one I've seen is the Liberty Bowl against Oklahoma. So, what are your thoughts on that one there, Brock?
Play the Sooners? I'd be down to play the Sooners.
Oh, yeah.
I also wouldn't mind us being in the Liberty Bowl. Because that is played in, Ben? Without looking it up.
It's Knoxville, right?
Memphis.
Oh.
Which is in...
Go to that one.
Which is in...
Tennessee.
Speaking of... Shameless plug right here in the middle. Ben, as this podcast comes out, we will be a week away from B Card Entertainment's Tennessee Takeover.
Let's go.
Break it down for the fans, what we'll be doing, when, and where we will be. And where can we be found for these? In case any of you crazy Mizzou fans also decide to go to this game in Knoxville.
All right, so this next Friday, November 11th, me and Brock will be leaving here from Columbia and driving all day to Knoxville, where we will be staying just a little bit outside the city. And then Saturday at noon, or we'll be tailgating beforehand, but we will be at the Missouri versus Tennessee game in Knoxville, and we're going to possibly knock off the number one ranked team in the country. We can have hope.
We can have hope, but they got to get through Georgia first.
But we are in section Z14.
We will be there, hopefully, with fellow black and gold cladded friends and not orange and white cladded assholes.
And over there above the tunnel, right? Sort of?
Yep. Where the Mizzou will make their entrance from, so it'll be hard to miss us. We'll be waving a giant Mizzou flag and shaking gold pom-poms. And then, if you guys didn't know, Mizzou is sending their second group of mini Mizzou to this game, because the first group went to the Auburn game, and our second group will be there in Tennessee, so we'll be able to see some band friends of mine. And funny enough, we will be staying closer to Knoxville than the band will be. Are they in Nashville?
No.
Oh. Huh. Interesting.
I can actually pull up the email right now.
Ooh. So if you're going to the Mizzou Tennessee game, you can now find out where the Mizzou band is going, and if you're a Tennessee fan, you could go try to keep the Mizzou band up. I don't know how successful that'll be.
Mini Mizzou band initial Tennessee trip details.
Ooh.
They will be staying in Gatlinburg.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, we're not too far away, but that's where they will be staying. I'm not going to
because we're in
say where exactly they're staying.
Because we're in Seymour, right?
Yes, we are.
All right, that's what I thought.
And so Gatlinburg's only like 30, 40 minutes farther southeast of us.
Yeah. But we'll be in Seymour, so if Mizzou wins, party at the Airbnb, all Mizzou fans invited.
Oh, don't know about that, but
we'll set fire to the building. Waving the Mizzou flag. Singing Ol' Mizzou.
Staking the Mizzou flag above the Airbnb's house.
Just like the final mission from Modern Warfare, or from Call of Duty World at War. Planting the flag on the house. Soviet national anthem starts playing in the background.
And then on Sunday, November 13th, me and Brock will be leaving Knoxville as we head back here to Columbia, but on our way back, we will be going to the Denver Broncos versus Tennessee Titans game at Nissan Stadium in Nashville, Tennessee at noon.
We will also be going to the Country Music Hall of Fame.
Oh, yes.
So, I will be wearing this beautiful Eddie George throwback jersey that I purchased specifically for this trip, by the way. And also because I love the Houston Oilers jerseys. They were beautiful.
And for some reason, for me being just the jokester funny man that I am, I'll be wearing the one and only solid orange Bears number 9 Nick Foles jersey. So if you see me, come say hi.
He is not a Broncos fan.
I am not. I promise.
By the way, I find great irony that I will be wearing Tennessee franchise jersey to a Tennessee Titans game when they are the direct division rival of my beloved Indianapolis Colts. The irony is not lost on me. Or I could wear my Davis Mills jersey. I don't know. And I can loan Ben the Eddie George jersey. Or the...
Then we have...
Houston Oilers Actually, no. You'll be wearing the Houston Oilers t-shirt that I have.
We'll see.
So that way we're just there going, Go Oilers! Go Oilers! Houston, Houston, Houston. So yes, Tennessee TakeOver next week, Ben. This will be exciting. It'll be a good one.
Very.
Are you ready for the breakdown of the Mizzou Kentucky game? My good sir.
Yes.
So,
some other...
Nope, continue. What?
Some other stuff here on my list that I can go through here pretty fast. As Brock definitely knows, but many of you might not know. But Luther Burden is currently the nation's only player with multiple rushing touchdowns, multiple receiving touchdowns, and a punt return touchdown this season. So, good on him.
Best
next,
in the nation.
Earlier this week, Mizzou women's tennis took first place at the FIU Invite, going 23-8 on the weekend in singles and doubles. Let's go women's tennis.
Yeah.
Showing them who's boss.
I didn't know that we had a women's tennis team. I'm going to be honest.
Or I'm pretty sure it's just women, or it's just Mizzou tennis to begin with, but I don't know if we have a men's team or not.
I would assume so.
Then, yesterday, while I was walking through the student center, I heard somebody talking on the mic really loud in there, and I'm like, what the heck going on? And then I walk out into the main area of the student center, and the entire wrestling team was there, and they had a wrestling mat out in the middle of the student center, and there was just random wrestler dudes just wrestling, and they were and then there was wrestling coaches, full throttle, nonstop, just taking t-shirts and just chucking them at students just randomly in the student center, and I'm like, what the heck going on?
It's called the wrestling team is awesome at Mizzou because they do random stuff like that.
Oh, I mean, yes, but I mean, I was just trying to walk through the student center to get over to the library, and I'm like, what the heck?
Hey, you got several guys that went to the national championships last year, and
that is true.
Got it promoted. It's probably the best winter sport that Mizzou has.
Let's see.
They won the Big 12 last year. They're probably going to win it again this year. Go Tigers.
Mm-hmm. And then I'm trying to figure out why... but we did have an update on wide receiver Chance Luper the other day.
Yes, we did. I have a ladybug on my hand now.
Let's see. Because didn't Drinkwitz say that I can't find the picture that I had of it, but wasn't it that he had a blood clot or something?
Something along those lines, yes.
But he in good time, he will be healthy again and will be back.
That is good. This ladybug is very active on my hand.
We're looking forward to him returning.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally on my list, I know... But before I get to that, let's talk about Mizzou's defensive coordinator, Brock.
The greatest man to ever grace Mizzou's defense since the legendary Steve Wilkes.
Yes.
Would you like me to give the stats as to the improvement of this Mizzou defense from him taking over to the year previous? Okay.
Just an absolute turnaround.
That is an understatement. Mizzou's defense last year allowed 33.8 points per game. The current total for the Tigers this year, 23.1 points given up. Rushing yards allowed in 2021, 227.9. This year, 111.4. Yards per carry fell from 5.32 to 3.82. Passing yards fell from 206.8 to 173.9. Yards per play dropped a full yard from 6.39 to 5.03. And third down conversion rate fell from 43.3 to 29.1.
Oh, yeah.
This defense, we talked about it coming in here. We didn't know what to expect with them. They weren't that great last year. We had some questions about it. We had even more questions after the K-State game. But boy, they figured it out. It took.
I mean, K-State is good.
Yeah, they shut out Oklahoma State, which makes me think that Mizzou might be able to beat Oklahoma State.
48-0?
49-0.
Close.
Blake Baker, I want to buy you a drink, sir. We salute
you, sir.
We salute you. You were a glorious man. You are awesome. Go Tigers.
Yes. And then, finally here on my list, I had teased it, I think, the last episode of Earning Our Stripes. But it's about Marching Mizzou and the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade that we will be performing in on Thanksgiving morning.
Yeah, you're thrilled about that right now.
I mean,
it's okay, you could say it.
Drilling this into our head over and over and over again, just with making sure that everything's perfect for this. But Brock, so as you probably know, and as probably the people listening to us now, Alabama was in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade last year, and they were the Santa band, meaning that they were the band that went and played right before Santa came out for the parade. And at first I thought, is Mizzou going to be the Santa band?
No, you're the Snoopy
pretty much
band.
the exact same size as Alabama.
You're the Snoopy band. You play before Snoopy comes out.
But then I found out though that Macy's, they do like to kind of color code things a little bit for the parade, and so it
Crimson
makes
and
sense
red.
That it makes sense that with Alabama's colors that they would be put right before Santa comes out at the end.
Yes.
But Brock, do you have any guesses as to where we will be in our placement in the parade?
Right after Pluto. Because he's also yellow and black.
No.
And I don't think that Big Ben's going to be in the parade, so I really can't think of any other color coding that would work.
But
does Black & Decker have a... Or no, who is it? DeWalt? What company is the black and gold?
I'm pretty sure the official announcement went out yesterday, and I know they told us to not say anything about it until November 1st. And so since it is, as of us recording, November 2nd, so I am proud to announce to you and everybody else listening to this, but Marching Mizzou in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade will be the openers of the parade. We are opening the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Now, does that mean that you get to leave first?
Yes.
So as soon as it's over, you all get to fly back and...
To get ready for the Arkansas game.
Yeah.
The next day, yeah.
Yeah.
But the Rockettes will do their little performance thingy at the very beginning.
It will spell.
And then to open the parade, there will be a massive explosion of black and gold confetti with us coming onto the screen. And depending on how the camera is placed and everything, as our band walks into screen, I will be the first sousaphone player that you will see on the screen. Because the sousas were all in a big line in the back, because we have our normal parade block for the homecoming parade and other stuff and marching to the stadium, but So for most of the Macy's parade, we will be in that normal parade block, but once we turn onto the street where the NBC broadcast is, we'll be forming our new block. And so since, like, we're the big instrument and we're loud, we get pushed to, like, the back of the line because, like, say the camera is here and everything, and it's, like, all of the smaller, like, piccolo, clarinet, stuff like that, and then, or, like, trombones and stuff, and then, like, we'll be back here, but I will be walking into the screen. I will be the first tuba that you will see for the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Now, the important question. You will be playing the Mizzou fight song, correct, the entire time? The only correct answer is yes.
Yes, but we'll be playing All I Want to Do by Sheryl Crow.
Nope.
As much as I hate that song and do not care at all.
We do not care. We do not care.
As soon as we are done with that, we go directly into the fight song.
For the entire march. Yes! Cleanse the unwashed masses. Let them know of the greatness of Mizzou. Hooray! Hurrah! Mizzou! Mizzou! Hooray! Hurrah! Mizzou! Mizzou!
Hooray!
Hurrah! One for Mizzou! Rah! 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 Mizzou! Rah! Rah! Mizzou! Rah! Mizzou! Rah! Tigers! Dun, 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 dun. All right. Are you ready for the...
But we are opening the parade, so be looking for me on the TV, folks.
I'll be honest, I'll be asleep because I'll be getting done with work.
Fair.
It is now time for the breakdown comparison of Kentucky. So, first, for Kentucky, when looking at common opponents they have played, Kentucky picked up a 26-16 win over Florida earlier in the year. However, just 3 weeks ago of them playing, they lost to South Carolina 24-14. We'll now get a passing leader for your look at the leaders for the Kentucky Wildcats. Passing wise, it's Will Levis, 130 for 191, 1,733 passing yards, 13 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Running the ball, it's Chris Rodriguez Jr. for the Wildcats, 87 rushing attempts, 459 rushing yards, 4 touchdowns. Receiving for the Kentucky Wildcats, Tavon Robinson, 29 receptions, 403, 3 touchdowns. And now for your Missouri Tigers. Woo. Nothing, Ben? There you go. Yeah, come on. Give me a woo. Oh, we can't hear you.
Woo.
There we are.
Woo.
There's Ben. Yeah. Your passing leader is still Brady Cook. He's the only quarterback the Tigers have used all season long. Except for, 3 drives of Abrams, who threw 3 straight interceptions. 145 for 222, 1,652 passing yards, 6 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Rushing for your Tigers, 90 carries, 444 yards, 5 touchdowns. It's the Shredder, Cody Schrader. And receiving for your Tigers, still Dominic Lovett, 45 receptions, 659 receiving yards, and 2 touchdowns. Mizzou is given a 49.2% chance to pull off the win against the Kentucky Wildcats. The line has fallen since the line came out. It opened at a 3.5-point advantage for Kentucky. It is now at a pick'em at this point. Kentucky averages the same amount of points per game as the Tigers, 23.9. They have given up 19.9 points per game. The Tigers have given up 21.5. Total yards, neck and neck. Mizzou barely averaging more yards a game at 364.9 to Kentucky's 352.6. Yards allowed, dead even, both at 311. These are the two most similar teams in the nation. Mr. Benjamin Duncan, it is time to play
tad bit more than us, but we lean on the rush just a little bit more.
It is now time for you to give your predictions first. Will Levis is averaging an interception per game. How many interceptions will he throw against the Tigers?
He'll throw at least one.
Boy, thanks, Ben. Just riveting right there.
What I'm saying that we're gonna get an interception. I mean, I thought we'd get at least like 2 off of Spencer Rattler, but
Mizzou's got 7 interceptions so far on the year. Over under Ben.
At least another one.
Over under Ben. Sacks for Missouri. They have 17 on the year through 8 games. That's just over 2 per game. How many will the Tigers have against Will Levis?
4.
4 sacks against Will Levis. Now it's time for rushing yards for Kentucky. Where is it? Come on. There you are. Kentucky averages 112 yards rushing on the year. Over, under on 112 rushing for Kentucky.
Under.
Mizzou, on average, has given up 115.8 rushing yards per game, by the way. But that has improved greatly because that's highly inflated thanks to Kansas State and Georgia and the like there. Mizzou passing is averaging 210 per game. Ben, over, under, 210 for the Tigers through the air. Over.
But just barely.
So you're thinking like 218, something like that?
Yeah, probably. Because I feel like we're going to lean on the run this game.
I can see that going. On that note, for your Tigers, rushing, averaging 154 per game. Ben, Kentucky only gives up 124. You're taking over for rushing yards for the Tigers.
I'm taking over for rushing.
Finally, point totals. Kentucky gives up about 20 points per game. Mizzou scoring 24 per game. Over under 24 points for your Tigers.
Over.
Kentucky averaging 24 points a game. Mizzou's giving up 21.5. Over under 24 points for Kentucky.
Under.
It is projected to be a sellout in Columbia, Missouri. The capacity is 62,621 screaming Tiger fans. Mr. Benjamin Duncan, over under 61,000 fans at Faurot Field this Saturday.
Oh. That's tough. Over 61,000? Oh. Because what was the last game, like 60-something thousand?
Give me 1 second. That would have been the Vanderbilt game. And there were 60,618, so they were just 2,000 shy of a sellout. And the way that things are trending, it apparently is supposed to be a sellout in Columbia as the Wildcats come to town after the Tigers knocked off number 25 in the nation, South Carolina. Ben? Over under 61,000 fans. Under? I am taking the over. I think this, if it is not a sellout, they will be about 500 short of a sellout. I think Tiger fans are excited for this game. It is now time to give our predictions as to the score of the Mizzou game. Do we both have the Tigers winning, or do we have the Wildcats prevailing against Mizzou? Before you say anything, the first time that these two met as Missouri was part of the Southeastern Conference, that was Mizzou's first win in the SEC against Kentucky on October 27th, 2012, a 33-10 win over Kentucky in front of about 68,000 Mizzou fans.
Oh.
It was homecoming as well. Or no, it wasn't, because this was coming off the back of a 42-10 loss to Alabama the week previous, where there were 71,000 fans at Faurot Field. Ben? Do the Tigers pick up the win against Kentucky, a team that they have struggled against, it seems like recently, but always have incredible games with?
Yes, we will beat them. I'm sick and tired of watching us lose to Kentucky. That one game, I think it was probably a couple years ago now. But
I know which one you're talking about.
Some kick that got blocked or something.
Ben, I need a score prediction for the Wildcats and the Tigers in Columbia.
Mizzou 27, Kentucky 20.
So, the fact that Kentucky only scored 14 against South Carolina is what I'm going to base this off of. I am going to say Mizzou 31. The most points that they have scored since they played Abilene Christian, where they scored 34 points. And Kentucky will only score 17.
And you do have to remember that Kentucky is coming off a blowout loss to Tennessee, 44-6.
I think Kentucky will still be demoralized from this. Mizzou is still riding high after knocking off number 25 South Carolina.
In South Carolina.
On the
TV broadcast, you could hear the MIZZOU chants across the stadium.
There was a lot of black and gold at that game.
Yeah.
I'm not positive some of them weren't App State fans coming down from Boone, North Carolina, but there was a lot of black and gold at least doing the MIZ chant. There will be even more of them in Columbia this weekend as the Tigers take on the Wildcats. We said it on BTT. If you don't listen to BTT, go listen to it because me and Ben closed the show. That was the most hype me and Ben have been for a Talking Mizzou ever. Ben, I am hyped for this game. I will be able to watch the ending of this game because I don't have to go to work till 5 o'clock. I will be able to watch the end. I will watch the ending of this game.
You might be able to see me on the TV.
I may. I am predicting Mizzou wins. They get one game closer to bowl eligibility. And the reason I say this, I mentioned this to you off air. There is the chaos scenario. Ladies and gentlemen, if you do not know what this chaos scenario is, this is the chaos scenario. First of all, Georgia loses the remainder of their games, meaning they go 5-4 in conference play. Tennessee beats Georgia, however, loses out the remainder of their games. Kentucky and South Carolina, both having lost to Mizzou, can do whatever. Mizzou wins out the remainder of their games in conference play. Ben, count these games with me. They have the two already in conference play over South Carolina and Vanderbilt. Kentucky, Tennessee, Arkansas. How many is that?
5.
Never mind, the chaos scenario does not work.
Wait, what?
There is no chaos scenario. No matter what, Georgia has won the SEC East. There is no chaos scenario. There was a chaos scenario where Mizzou could have gone, but that loss to Georgia killed it. Ben, there is no chaos scenario. But Mizzou would be able to upset currently number one in the SEC and in the nation, and be 8-4. Now, that being said, there is a scenario that goddamn.
That's right. Tennessee plays at Georgia this weekend.
Yes, so we will find out what Tennessee will be. We will find out what Tennessee will be this weekend. But we both have the Tigers picking up the win over Kentucky, which would improve them to 5-4, 3-3 in the SEC. Here's your updated SEC ranking or SEC standings. Currently atop the SEC East are the Georgia Bulldogs, 5-0 in conference play, 8-0 in the year. Right behind them and playing them this week are the Tennessee Volunteers, number 1 team in the nation, 4-0 in conference play, 8-0 on the year. Behind them and currently tied for third place, are the Kentucky Wildcats, the South Carolina Gamecocks, and your Missouri Tigers. Behind them in the cellar are Florida at 1-4, their only win over Mizzou on the year so far. And in the basement are the Vandy Commodores. And the SEC West currently leading this is the strangest sentence I will ever say. The number 10 LSU Tigers are number 1 in the SEC West currently. They play Alabama this week. Right behind them are the Ole Miss Rebels, then Alabama, Arkansas, Mississippi State, Auburn, and Texas A&M all behind them. Mizzou has a better record than Texas A&M right now. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Texas A&M fans, when they have more than 4 losses in the season, blow up the team, fire everyone.
Mizzou fans,
when we have 4 wins.
Yeah! Yes! Mizzou when they knock off a ranked team. Give everyone extensions! Yeah! And if they beat Kentucky, they need one more win, and we have New Mexico State coming in and Arkansas. There is a real possibility Mizzou could be 7-5, which was my prediction at the beginning of the year. 7-5, Liberty Bowl. As much as I'm going to hate to say this, against Kansas in Memphis.
No way.
And Mizzou could beat the absolute living hell out of the Jayhawks.
Dream matchup.
No. My dream matchup is a team that is currently ranked number 12 in the nation right now. I want Mizzou Tulane. Give me Mizzou versus Tulane. Let the Tigers win out.
Alabama, Tulane.
Okay, I want that too. But that is all that we have for Earning Our Stripes this week, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't listen to Big Time Talkers, please go listen to it. It was another great episode this week. We talked about our top 5 most hated NHL franchises. Ben, we talked about NASCAR, the XFL. We talked about the Battlehawks. We might be doing a Battlehawks podcast. I'm pretty sure we could do a Battlehawks podcast. We should do that. We'll bring Tommy in. He's a Battlehawks fan too. My buddy Jordan, he could come in. He could talk about the Battlehawks.
Yep.
We'll just form an entire army of Battlehawks fans here in Kansas City. And then we'll petition to bring them to Kansas City, and we'll give them the Chiefs.
Ew.
I like this trade.
No.
But they also have to give us the Blues.
Colts fan, weirdo.
Battlehawks and Blues for the Chiefs? I think that's a fair trade. Oh, come on. The Kansas City Blues sounds cool.
I mean, it would definitely make more sense, like, historical-wise.
Mm-hmm.
Or move the Utah Jazz to Kansas City.
The Kansas City Jazz? I like that. I like that a lot. However, they're not moving.
Have a basketball team in Kansas City again?
I think an NHL team would thrive more than a basketball team would. Because you got Kansas. Why are we having this conversation here? No, this is Earning Our Stripes. That is a Big Time Talkers conversation. This is the type of stuff we talk about in Big Time Talkers, ladies and gentlemen. So, only there's that annoying guy that you got a few weeks ago, Mr. Tommy Haley, who was just here for the chip review of Luther Burden's chips. Yeah. Anyway.
Those are delicious. You need to find some more.
Ben, where can you be found on Twitter?
I can be found at EliteTigerSport1.
I can be found on Twitter at Brock Gorton99. The B and the G are capitalized. B Card Entertainment can be found on Twitter at B_card ENT. The B, the C, and the E are all capitalized on that. Check out the website. Link in the description.
Hey.
Ben put out an article.
Articles and stuff on there.
Ben put out an article about Halloween football. I put out an article about the Royals and what they've done 7 years since winning the World Series. That was a depressing article to write. Very depressing. Lot of death. But
Jeez.
that is all we have for Earning Our Stripes, ladies and gentlemen. I've been Brock Gorton.
And I've been Benjamin Duncan.
And slowly but surely, we are earning our stripes, and the Tigers are moving closer and closer to bowl eligibility. Pack out Faroe Field.
Yes.
Sell out Faroe. Bring all your friends in. Everyone. If they're not Tigers fans. I've done that before. Anyone. Non-Tigers fans, Tigers fans, Jayhawk fans, Missouri State fans. Bring everyone to Mizzou for this game against...
Fans.
Bring Nebraska fans. Bring them to Mizzou. Convert them. Let them wash in the... Let them wash in the black and gold. Let them experience Mr. Brightside and the chant that comes with it. The most glorious chant in all of college football. Ben!
I'm not saying that.
Because you're affiliated with the school. And the most glorious chant that is not attributed to Mr. Brightside. M-I-Z.
We don't like play you.
No.
Z-O-U.
M-I-Z.
Z-O-U.
M-I-Z.
Z-O-U.
Beat Kentucky. Beat Kentucky. Beat Kentucky. Beat Kentucky.
Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Earning Our Stripes. And go Tigers!